Children, like I said, I'm very happy to see you. Whenever I see children, I think I can be like you. You know why I like to be a child again? Yes, because who wants to grow up fast? Huh? Any one of you want to grow big quickly? Yeah, one. Okay. Anybody else? Two. Only two wants to grow up fast. Others want to stay kids all the time to be a kid? Yes, very good. You know, why do you think you should be a kid all the time, you know? Let's count our blessings, okay? Now, I'm a grown-up person, okay? I have to wake up on my own. Who wakes you up in the morning?
No one.
No one?
No.
Wow. You're wonderful kids. Huh? I think this is something very unique to Australia. When I was your age, I had my father and mother waking me up every morning. And I was very lazy to wake up. And you are very good children. Okay. Who's giving you, do you get a wet tea in the morning? Does your mother and father give you something to drink before your meals?
No.
Sometimes, yes? Okay. Then who cooks breakfast for you?
Mom and Dad.
Mom and Dad, yes. Mom and Dad. Now, who takes you to school?
Mom and Dad.
Yes, still Mom and Dad. Then who takes you to classes, sports and everything?
Mom or Dad.
Who buys you toys, games, iPods, iPads?
Mom and Dad.
Mom and Dad. Now I'm grown up. I have to wake nobody's waking me up. Nobody's cooking me, giving me anything to eat unless I get it my own way. And nobody's buying me toys. And nobody's taking me here and there. Of course, I'm a monk now. I can be like. Do you see anybody taking your mom and dad to work? No, they have to drive for themselves.
Yes.
So do you think growing up is good? So yeah, never grow up. Okay, I'm kidding. You, one way or another, you have to grow up. When you grow up, it's going to be a difficult task. If you don't live your life properly, it's going to be very complicated. Do you think it's complicated, you know, to wake somebody up and do all the laundry and cook something? No. Okay. So when you get there, you will understand what I told you. Okay, today I'm going to talk about happiness. Okay, how are you going to be happy? Okay, when you have toys, you are happy?
Yes.
When you have lollies, are you happy?
Yes.
When you have pizza, KFC, McDonald's, are you happy? Yes. Okay. I'm also happy with those things. But as a monk, I hardly get them these days. Anyways, so listen to me, children. So now we are going to listen. Can somebody fix this for me? You know, see, very difficult life. You know, this movie. Do like this. I'll take it to the back, then it will move its maximum, then it will stop. Okay. Now children, I'm talking about happiness. Now why do you think when you have toys, when you have lollies, when you have everything that you like, you are happy? When you don't have them, do you feel happy?
Yes.
Okay. So where do you find your happiness in? Yes? Okay, I will ask few of you, tell me where do you find your happiness? Yes? In yourself, one good answer, yes?
The things that you like.
The things that you like. Yes, Baba? Yes, you? Your mind, one good answer, yes?
Your mom and dad.
Your mom and dad. Yes, Baba, are you there? At the restaurant, yeah, what a wonderful answer. Yes. Now, you all are very right. You can find happiness in these things. But there is one problem. Like you said, when you don't have your mom and dad, when you don't have your lollies, when you don't have your toys, you will be sad. So Buddha said, as children, as human beings, it's okay to find something that you are happy with, but you should not be looking for that happiness outside.
It's inside you.
It's inside you. Okay? We need to find that happiness inside. Buddha says, if you want to be happy, you have to be independent. Independent. What's the meaning of independent? Yes. Give me one good answer. Yes.
To be calm.
To be calm. Okay. Yes.
To be
Okay. Who knows the meaning for independent? Yes. To be by yourself. Yes. The small one here. Okay.
By yourself.
Very good. That's the most common answer that we get. When you say independent, you think you have to be by yourself. But the meaning of independent is you have to depend on your inside. Do you understand? You have to depend on your inside. What do you mean inside? Your mind. You are happy or sad by
Your mind.
your emotions, your mind. Why do you cry? Why do you laugh? When you say you like lollies, have you seen lollies laughing?
No.
Why the SpongeBob, he laughs here? But that's not a lolly anyways. Have you seen toys laughing? Yeah, sometimes. But those are cartoons. You can never believe in cartoons, okay? I always say cartoons are not going to save your life. All the superheroes will never be there for you.
Yeah.
Yes, you understand that. Okay, children, silent. Okay, now when I say you cannot find crying toys, laughing toys, but it's always you yourself who are happy and sad. So, what is the thing that money can buy? Comfort. But money can never buy happiness. In Australia, you have everything like toys, good food, good houses. But in Sri Lanka, in countries like Myanmar, India, there are a lot of poor people, poor children, but still they are very happy with these toys and without these toys and things that you have. So do you think all the external things can bring us happiness?
No.
No. So be independent, depend on your inside. Money can buy only comfort but never happiness. So Buddha gave, because we all as children, as adults, we all are looking for something called what? Everybody likes to be happy. Who doesn't like to be happy? Anybody who doesn't like to be happy? No, everybody wants happiness. Okay? I know when children get together, they like to give stupid answers sometimes. I did that when I was young, you know. But we should be very serious now. So if you want to be happy, Buddha says you have to remember 15 things. How many things?
15.
15. If you can count to 15, you can remember these 15 things. Who can count to 15? I believe everybody. Okay, I can count 1, 2,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Very good. Now I know you all can count to 15, but when I finish my talk, you have to remember the 15 things that I'm going to tell you. Then I know you can count very well. Are you going to do that? Yes. There is this special discourse given by Lord Buddha. He gave a special sermon called Karaniya Metta Sutta. It's called the discourse given on the loving kindness. In this Buddha's talk, he gives 15 things that a person should remember who's looking for happiness. Can you repeat that? 15 things
15 things.
a person should remember who is looking for. So if you want happiness in your life, you are going to be studying and you are going to become engineers, doctors, accountants, lawyers, and whatever the thing that you want, but still you have to make sure that you have these 15 things within you. If you don't have these 15 things as a grounding, it's very difficult to find true happiness. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now this loving kindness discourse is also the most famous discourse given by Lord Buddha in the world. Even Australians love it, British love it, Americans love it, South Americans love it. It's the most popular teaching given by Lord Buddha. And if you come to the temple, I believe all your parents know this sutta by heart. What do you call this? Karaniya Metta Sutta. Sutta means the discourse given by Lord Buddha. So, the first one Buddha says, for the one who is looking for happiness, they should be skilled. What do you mean by skilled? They should be able and skilled. Okay. What are your skills? Yes?
Smart.
Okay, you are going to be smart. Yes? Things that you are good at. Yes, Baba? Your patience, yeah. Patience is a skill. It's one of the most important skills that you should have, but we'll be talking about that. Skills are the things that you are able of. So tell me, what are your skills? Who's good at playing a musical instrument? Who's good at playing the guitar? Okay, the piano? Okay, I'm very good at percussions, you know. I can do this. Other than that, unfortunately, I didn't learn an instrument at school. So, Buddha said, whatever you decide to do at school, at university, you should be very skilled in the things that you do. Now, are you going to do that? Yes? So, how are you going to be skilled at your education? How good are you at studying? Do you study? Do you do your homework every day? Yes. Very good. Does your mommy and daddy tell you to do the homework, or you voluntarily, you say, who comes home saying that, okay, Amma, I have a lot of homework. I'm not going to watch TV today. I will do my homework first. Huh? Okay, very good. You all deserve a very big lolly. But I was not like you. I always come home and my first number one was TV. Okay. That's your number one as well?
No.
Very good. Okay. So you should be very skilled in your studies. There's a special Pali term for this. It's called Sakko. I don't want you to remember the Pali term, but make sure that you remember. Now these 15 things I'm going to ask, then I'm not going to be this good at that time. When I'm revising my teaching, I'm going to be very nasty with you. Okay? No lollies. First one, skill. What are the things that you should be skilled at? Every good thing that you do in life, make sure you master that. Make sure you thoroughly understand that. Make sure that you are going to do that perfectly. Can you do that? Can you try doing that?
Yes.
Very good. The second one is honesty.
Honesty.
Who knows the meaning of honesty? Yes.
Telling the truth.
Can somebody tell me yes?
Telling the truth.
I'm sorry children, those who are at the back, I cannot see you, so I cannot get your answers. But I see a lot of children raising their hands up in the back. I know you are giving correct answers, but yeah, let me try. Yes, who knows? Let's get some answers from the back. Who knows the meaning of honesty? Okay, Baba, you give, yeah? The girl at the very back? Yes, you. Sorry? Saying the truth. Okay, any other? Yes? Not telling lies. Okay? Yes? I'm sorry, I didn't get you, Baba.
So not fear the consequences if you to not fear the lies,
Yeah, okay, let's be very simple. Thank you. Your answer is right. But tell me, how are you not going to be honest? Number one, what you do the most, you might be lying. That's the most common thing children do. Are you going to lie? Have you lied ever in your life? Yes. Thank you for being honest. Yes? Thank you for being honest. Okay? Yes. But if you want to find happiness, You should try yourself not to lie. Do you understand? Okay, what are the other ways that you are not being honest? Yes. Any other way that, okay, is that only the way that you can be dishonest? When you do bad things, like what? If you steal somebody else's things, are you going to be an honest person? If you go against your parents' words, are you going to be an honest person?
Yes.
Yes? No. Okay? So honesty can be broken in many ways. But Buddha gives us 5 golden rules for you to be honest. 5 golden rules. Okay, now children, be calm and quiet. This is very important. We already mentioned these 5 golden rules. You should not be killing a living being intentionally. If you kill somebody, you are going to be a dishonest person. You should not be lying intentionally. You should not be taking other people's things unless they are not given to you. You should not be taking things that belongs to somebody else. You should not be misbehaving in bodily ways. Okay? Bodily ways means when you grow up you will understand this situation. You should be behaving very well. And the last one, the 5th one, you should not be taking intoxicants. What are intoxicants? Okay, is chewing gum intoxicant? Huh? Are you sure? Yes. Yeah. Okay. So what are intoxicants, children? Yes, Baba. Yes, you? Drugs and alcohol. Yes, very good. When you grow up, you have to remember this. Those people who believe they are successful, they still can take these things, but they are not successful. Okay? Because you cannot find happiness. If people are happy, why are they drinking alcohol? If they are perfectly happy, do you think you have to drink something else to be happy? No, you can be happy the way you are. So why you need something, Do you drink milk to be happy? No. So do you think you have to have milk to be happy? No, but milk they drink to be strong, for nutrition. So to be happy when you grow up, one of your friends might come and say, hey, today is Friday night, so we need to drink something, to be happy. Then you tell them, happiness is not in drinking, So you are better than that. Yeah? So how can you be happy? I have a saying, you cannot be happy. What is the rule number 1? You cannot find happiness in external things. So before you do something, please remember, think who you are, where you come from, what religion you believe, and what are your parents. These things you should remember. So there are 5 ways you can be dishonest. So are you going to be honest? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. So make sure you remember this. I was reading a good quote by the first Prime Minister of Malaysia. His name was Abdul Rahman Puteri. Okay, he's the father of Malaysia. He gives a nice saying. He says, if you are rich, do you think there will be a lot of rich other people who are richer than you? Yes. If you are going to be rich, there will be a lot of people in this world who are rich. If you are going to be clever, do you think there will be a lot of other clever people too? Yes, you are not the only clever person. But he says, if you are honest, there will be very few people in this world who are honest. So do you mind belonging to that very little people? No. But yes, because that is the most important thing. Honesty is very important. So Buddha says, Buddha gives, Buddha repeats. As the 3rd thing, you have to be perfectly honest. Not only honest, what is the 3rd one? Okay, you write down now. I'm going to ask you if you have a book and a pen. Okay? But the rule, number 1? Skill. Number 2? 3rd one? Perfectly honest. Perfectly upright. Very straightforward. No hanky-panky, What do you mean by hanky-panky? You are not going to shake. If you are a very honest person, Buddha says, you can go anywhere If you are honestly studying, can you go to an exam without fear?
Yes.
Yes, you don't have to worry because you are so confident. You are so confident that I am well read, I did everything that I can, so I go and write my exam. Those who are not honest, they will be peeking into other people's. Have you copied at school?
No.
Okay, who said yes? Okay, thank you. Yes, I personally have copied at school. Yes, there was a time at school, one of my students copied my paper. He even copied my name. So, honestly, you know, so when we got our results, we have 2 results under the same name. So the school, my class teacher, this was in chemistry, he was like, now who copied from who? He doesn't know. So I know I didn't copy it. So I know who copied from me, but he might have been in confusion, he copied my name also. So we had a parents meeting, you know. So that's how the school life for me was like. But you should not be doing that. So when you say somebody is copying, that he can be very stupid, you copy his name also, isn't it? So you should not be doing that. Skilled, honest, perfectly honest. Okay, now the 4th one. 4th one is obedient. What do you mean by obedient? What do you mean by obedience? Yes? Sorry? You follow the rules. Wonderful. Yes, you always listen. So I'm taking answers out of you, so you know everything. So I believe you are behaving in a way like the way the Buddha is teaching us. Okay, you follow rules, you listen, and yes, what else can you think when you say obedient? You follow instructions. Do you always listen to your parents?
Yes.
Sometimes. Your parents, do your children always listen to you? Okay, they don't want to answer today because they don't want to feel like children today. Moms don't like to be kids sometimes. See, they love you very much. That's why they don't want to say that you don't listen, but I know kids will sometimes not listen. But here, be very important now, don't take these things for granted. As young children, even as big people, we are always looking for happiness. But if you don't have these things in your life, no matter how much you eat lollies and chocolate, even if you end up at the chocolate factory, you cannot find happiness. Some people go to, your parents will take you to Disneyland. Yeah, kids love, and these days, like children love to watch, what's the cartoon? The Snowy, yeah? Huh? The Toy Story? Who knows Woody? Yeah, okay, see? Yeah, okay, very good. So you don't have to go after these things if you remember these things. So what do you mean by obedience? You always follow instructions of your parents, of your teachers, and your elders. Why do you have to follow somebody else's rules? They know better. They have experienced life. Why are we following Buddha's instructions? Yes. Why do we sit in front of Lord Buddha now? On a Saturday evening, and why are you listening? And when I say, okay, to close your eyes and breathe in, breathe out, why are we following those instructions? Yes? Yeah, he's enlightened because he can give us a lot of instructions, wisdom, because he knows everything. He has gone through life a lot. So when you are obedient to your parents, teachers, elders, it means they are experienced. When you are in trouble, who's the best person to trust? Yes? Your parents. Yes? Your teachers. Why nobody's giving me the answer? The police? Huh? Okay. Huh? So when you are in trouble, I believe in Australia, who should be calling? Your mom or your dad or your 000, I don't know. But always remember, in all life situations, your parents are the people who you should be trusting. Sometimes when you are young, you don't want to listen to your parents, you are not obedient, you going after other people like your friends, asking, I'm in trouble, what can I do? But how can your friends help when you cannot help yourself? They are in the same age group, they are in the same experience as you are. So always, now children, calm down. I'm going to finish this very quickly. But if you keep moving here and there, I will take longer time to explain things. So obedience is very important. What's the number 4? Obedience. Number 5, gentle. What is the meaning of gentle? You say ladies and gentlemen. Have you seen, when you say ladies and gentlemen, have you seen any gentlemen? What do you mean by ladies and gentlemen, So, the Buddha is the one who is introducing these words, although they are used by Westerners. Ladies and gentlemen. When you say, what is the gentleness that we are expecting out of you? You behave yourselves. Are you behaving yourself right now?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Very good. So are you gentle?
Yes.
So look into yourselves whether you are gentle or not. I don't have to tell you. If you are a bit uneasy, if you don't enjoy this, if you are not liking this, that means you are not gentle, If you are coming here because of your parents want to come here, I'm not saying anything against that, because even when I was young, I never wanted to go to the temple, So my mother drags me again, temple. I also sit down, sometimes I sleep, I listen to the Hamdru again and again and again. But the good part of it is that I learned a lot at the temple. So I grew up, I went to the university, I fell in trouble, I had a lot of things to do. Everything that was the things that I learned from my mother, father and temple helped me a lot. So because I have gone through that journey, I want you to be still and be gentle and wait for another 15-20 minutes until we finish this. Don't forget, I'm going to revise all this. Okay, now what's the thing? Number 5? Gentle, how many to go? 10 more. Okay, very good. Number 6. Number 6 is humble. What do you mean by humble? Are you all humble when you mean by humbleness? Can somebody come up with a good answer? Yes?
Nice.
Okay, nice. Yes. Yes, Baba? You? Yes? Small. Yeah? You can speak loud. So humbleness is something like this. You might be a very big shot. You know what I mean by a big shot? You can be educated. You can be very powerful. You can be very rich. But does it have anything to do with anybody else? But you are still nice to everybody, that you live your life without a big ego. Now girls, do you have friends with big egos? You don't understand the term ego, yes? Okay, but please understand, if you are wise, if you are educated, if you are rich in the right way, those people will be always humble. There's a nice example. Have you seen mango trees? Yes. Who has been to Sri Lanka? Okay. Even if you don't have been to, if you have never been to Sri Lanka, who has seen mango trees? Have you seen mango trees with mangoes? When the mango tree has all the mangoes, the tree bends down. When you have fruits within yourself, you are always a bending person. You are very humble, you respect other people. Have you seen any trees without any fruit? Yeah, just rigid and straight, no use at all. So this is the example given by Buddha. If you are humble, you are always a flexible person. You know how to respect, you know how to be nice, you know how to treat a rich person and a poor person the same way. Are you going to do that?
Yes.
There are people, a lot of people in society who only likes rich people. They don't much care about poor people. Okay? Especially in Sri Lanka, if you go to school, not all the children come from wealthy background. You have poor friends, you have rich friends. But if you can be with both of these friends, like you have no discrimination, you can call yourself a humble person. There is a nice poem by, I can't remember, if have any parents know the poem, If by Rudyard Kipling? Yes, when you grow up, you read that poem, I believe there's a nice saying, if you can walk with kings, but still be a humble man, you will be very successful. Do you understand the point here?
Yes.
No matter what you become in the future, you can be the Prime Minister of Australia. You can be the President of Sri Lanka. Huh? Do you want to be that? Okay, whatever you decide to be, I'm not encouraging you to be a politician, don't take me wrong, this is on the record. Yes, never, I don't encourage anybody to be a politician, but you can always serve the nation, you can always serve the society, you can always serve your elders, whatever the people that you think deserve your service, but be what? Humble. Okay, number 7. Number 7 is called frugal. What do you mean frugal? What do you mean by frugal? Okay, let me explain. How many clothes do you have? Okay, you know, you don't count. Okay, let me count my clothes. Okay, because I am a frugal. Monk should be always frugal. I have this robe, and I have one shirt underneath, and I have a skirt-like thing that I wear. Okay, how many of these sets can a monk have? Do you know? If you are a very good monk, you will have only one set. Yes. But it's very difficult in Australia to live with one set, because if we wash this, it's going to be winter and you cannot get it dry the same day. So at least we need to have 2-3 sets of these robes. So if you are happy with very few things, it's called frugal. But tell me, who wants a desktop and a laptop and an iPad and an iPhone and an iPod? Okay? Do you think this is called frugal? No. So do you think you need all of these things to browse internet? No, you can do with your maybe desktop. Some children, they go to the supermarket, they want dark chocolate, they want milk chocolate, they want white chocolate, they want Ferrero. Every other sweet in the whole shopping complex they want. But being frugal is, you are very happy with what you really want. Are you happy with what you really want?
Yes.
Do you want more?
No.
Yes. Yeah. Who said yes? Yes. Now you are right. You are right. We need everything. You know. You might think that we need everything, but the more you have, the more you will have to carry. So that's why Buddha says, in the search of happiness, make sure you have a... Okay children, now that corner is bit loud. Okay? Be silent. Good. So, what's the word? Frugal means what? You be happy with
What you have.
what you have and what you need, not with what you want. Do you know the difference between what you want and what you need?
Yes.
How many TVs do you want at a house? But how many? No, not one. That's need. You know, you only need one TV. But how many TVs do you want? Or do you want two? Many. So make sure, okay, parents, you teach your children, next time they go to Harvey Norman's, if they ask, you come up with this formula, what you want and what you need, okay? So if they are not happy, you let me know, okay? So do you have a lot of pens in your little thing that you take to the school? What do you call that? Pencil case. How many pens do you have? Yeah. So if you don't, yeah, some girls especially, they have every color in the planet in their pencil case. So do you want all this? So learn a lesson. Okay, let's go to the number 8. Number 8 is called easily satisfied. What is that? Are you easily satisfied? No? Yeah? Tell me who are fussy when they sit down at lunch table, dinner. Okay, when Amma gives you rice, you say, oh, I don't want to eat rice today. I want something like pancakes, burgers. I don't want to eat cereal. I don't want to eat salad. But I want sausage and eggs and things like that. Don't you say that? Yes, you say that. So are you easily satisfied?
No.
Then what? Then how can you be happy? Then how can you be happy if you are not easily satisfied? Now listen to the Buddha's word here. If you want to be happy with what you have. You are lucky to be in Australia. Okay, when I was young, if my mother says rice and I say I don't want rice, that's it. I will not eat again. Okay? Because we didn't have the luxuries you had. Do you think my mother will be bothered to make me sausage and egg and fish and chicken? Things like that. She said, okay, I have given you what you should be eating. You eat that or you forget it. So, when you go to a poor country, they don't have much choices. But they are very happy with what they have. So, are you going to be easily satisfied? Yes? So you go to a shop, you go and buy clothes, and when your mother says, okay, this is good for you, will you say, no, this is not good for me? Yeah, most of the girls, they say that I don't like this, this is not what my friends are wearing, I want to be, glamorous, fabulous. Okay, so if you want to be happy, you have to be easily satisfied. Okay, another very important point Buddha gives here. With few duties. What's the word? Few duties. What do you mean by with few duties? How many duties do you have as kids? When you wake up in the morning, what are your duties? Yes? To wake up is your duty. Wake up on time. Yes, not like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Okay. Okay, what else? To eat whatever the thing that your parents give you, that is also a duty. Yes?
Brush your teeth.
That is also one type of a duty. Some people find it very hard for their children to get into the bathroom and get their brushed, to get their, face or whatever the morning chores. Yes? Do your homework. Do you find it a duty to do your homework? Why, it's a duty, yes. Okay, can you go back to school without doing your homework?
No.
Then how come it's not a duty? When you are children, when you are under your parents, the number one duty in life is what? Not homework. To study hard. To study to the best of your ability. Why? Because do you have to cook?
No.
Do you have to do your laundry? No. Do you have to take the bus, the train to school? No, everything is being done by your parents, so why can't you perform your duty right? That when you come home, okay, you can watch TV, cartoons and watch MasterChef Australia or whatever, okay, but still, you have to perform the duty of studying. When you say few duties, some children have a lot of things in their head. More duties, like chatting with your friends, like going to parties, like those are extra duties. So Buddha says, those people with few duties in life, they can find happiness easily. The word is priority. What is the meaning of priority?
Compulsory.
Sorry?
Compulsory.
No. Yeah, priorities can be compulsory things, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's compulsory. Yes?
That means
Yes?
you need to do before anything
Yeah, you need to do before anything else. These are the priorities in life. So you need to understand as children, think, you have to sit down and think, what are my priorities as a 5-year-old, 6-year-old. It's not a big thing. Okay, if you think you need to do your studies well, that's number one priority in your life. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. What's the number that we are in? That means you have not been counting. Number 9, I think. Number 9, okay? Number 9 is a simple livelihood. A very simple life. I have lived some time in Myanmar. It's one of the most poorest countries. So I always live in a village, in a small forest plot. They don't have anything. They don't even have a motorcycle at their house. So those people are very poor, but they always carry a very happy face. They don't have anything, but they are still very happy. Why do you think that is? Their lives are very easy. Their lives are very simple. So how can you make your life simple?
By not doing much things.
By not doing much things. By not doing. A week ago, there was this Sri Lankan boy who came to Newbury where I am living now. It's 2 hours away from here, the countryside. I'm the only monk. I mean, we have 2 other monks living there, but they will be soon going to Perth. So I'll be staying with wallabies and kangaroos and wombats for the next 3 months. So a Sri Lankan boy, and he was talking about his past life. Now he's not that old, but he has so many things in life. I got so confused. Myself, I got very confused. When you have a lot of things to do, you get confused. Do you know the meaning of confusion?
Yes.
When you are confused, can you do anything right? You don't know what's right and what's wrong. Yes? Okay, if I fill like with different lollies this ball, and I ask you to find the right lolly, can you find it? No, it's going to be very difficult. But if I have like few lollies in this, it's easy to recognize the thing that you want in life. So don't complicate your life by having a lot of things in your mind as well as in your everyday life. Very good. Now Buddha gives a very important thing here, control in senses. What do you mean by control in senses? Now we are in the 10th one, 5 more to go. You are very happy, I know, 5 more to go. If you are patient, if you are gentle, we can finish this quickly. Who knows about senses? What are our senses? Yes? Your eyes. When somebody says eyes, what's the next thing? Okay, children, senses means whatever you see, whatever you hear, whatever you taste, whatever you feel, whatever you think. Do you daydream a lot? That's how. Do you go to school and wonder, I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to be an engineer. Do you think like that? No, you can. There's nothing wrong in that. You can do that. But are you working for that? That's the most important thing. Yeah, some people, they daydream all their life, but they never reach their goal. There's a saying, if you reach for the moon, you will remain with. If you reach for the moon, you will remain with the stars. But I say, reach for the moon, at least you will hit the ceiling. Okay. You have to reach for your goals, then you will be in a good position in society, in your life. But when you say controlling your senses, if you go after everything that you see, if you go after every taste that you want, if you hear every music that without control, if you don't have control for yourself, then again what is your life going to be? A mess, a total mess. So how can you control your senses? Any idea? Now you should be coming up with ideas. You know, there's a saying that you should not be thinking too much. No, you should not be memorizing, but you should be thinking about these things. When you go to school, they want you to memorize, cram everything on the book so you can come to school and exam and write down answers. But if you learn to think, it's very easy. So how do you control your senses? Yes? At your level, I will give a simple formula, you know. We don't have to go into much detail. Do you have a timetable in life? Yes. What time you wake up? What time you watch TV? What time do you eat? What time do you study? You have a plan like that for yourself? Yes, very good. So if you stick to a plan, if you stick to a timetable, if you stick to an organized way in life, you will be controlling yourself in a very good manner. So at your age, it's very important you follow a timetable, yes, and you organize things. This is the ultimate way that you can control your senses for the time being. Let's go to the next one. Not stubborn. Are you all stubborn? No. Have you heard your mother saying, my child is very stubborn? No, never, yeah? Nobody. You are never stubborn. So at times are you stubborn? Sometimes when you get mad and yeah. Why do you get stubborn? Okay, do you find my talk pretty boring? No. So who can be very honest now? Who can be honest? Okay, who can be perfectly honest? Okay, so you honestly think that my talk is not boring? Thank you. Okay, so anybody who's stubborn? Who has been stubborn? Okay, we all are stubborn. Okay, but it's very important you listen to your parents. And why you have to be stubborn? With being stubborn, what are you going to get? When I was in Sri Lanka, when I was at your stage, stubborn means, stubborn equals the cane, you know? If you are stubborn, my mother had a big cane, you know, something little thinner than this, but bit longer, and you will get caned, you know? This is how I was brought up. But my father was a very compassionate person. Whenever he comes home, he hides this cane. Knowing that my mother has extra canes, you know, we don't know where she keeps them. But you are very lucky that, I'm not saying caning is good, but you should learn a lesson in life. But if you are not stubborn, do you have to cane everybody? No. So why are you, why do you have to be stubborn? You are stubborn because you always want the things the way you want it. When you want something, oh, I want this, mommy, I want this, daddy, Do you think they also have a life? So very important, you listen to your parents. If you want to be happy, don't expect the way to go, everything the way you want it to be. Do you think life goes according to the way we want? How do you know that?
Because life is chance depending on what you choose.
I don't know what that is, but yeah, but because if I always say I want to be a child now. Am I a child now?
No.
Now, in my monastery, we have a kids' corner. Okay, the other day I was cleaning them, and I found a small train set, and I wanted to make them. So I asked my senior monk, but I feel like playing with this train set, you know, I used to like trains a lot. Say, are you crazy, yeah? You know? So we, even as an elderly person, I cannot have the things that I want to. But if I say, no, Bhante, okay, I will play with the train. Am I being stubborn there? Yes, because I'm not at the age, I should not be playing with trains now because I'm a grown-up person. So when you behave, you are children, but even as children, you make sure that you are not going to be behaving very childish ways. Very stupid ways are not of a Buddhist child. You understand? Are you taking the lesson here?
Yes.
Okay. What's the number now? 12? Yes? Okay. Common sense. Do you have common sense? Yes. It is the most uncommon thing in the world. Common sense is the most uncommon thing in the world. When you say common sense, what is the meaning of common sense? Yes. Yeah. You give me the answer. What's the meaning of common sense? The meaning of common sense.
The meaning of common sense, like, it means what, if you want to think,
Yes?
Your initiative.
Common sense, please understand, common sense is using your wisdom and mind in situations appropriately. You get lost somewhere. How do you apply your common sense? Okay, how are you going to find yourself? How are you going to, what are the things that you can do when you are lost? Okay, you go to Chadston with your parents. Okay? And suddenly you cannot find your mother and father. What are you going to do? Yes?
Call up.
Okay. Google Maps. Well, that's not common sense, okay? That's not common sense. Okay, always have a plan, you know. Take instructions from your parents, whatever you do, Amma, Tata, what if this happens to me at school? What if this happens to me at the shopping complex? I cannot tell you to go to police. I cannot go and ask you to go to an information center. I cannot ask you to go and talk to an elder. You listen to your parents, follow their instructions. Follow instructions. That's very important. Okay, now stop playing. Okay. Common sense is how you behave, apply your knowledge in a good way to overcome situations. Common sense will help you to overcome hard situations. Do you understand?
Yes.
So you have to have some talent within you to build common sense. So it's very uncommon. Some people don't know what to do in certain situations. Okay, what is the most common situation where you will have no common sense at all? Think. It is very common. Where you will not have common sense at all. Yes?
when you're really young.
Okay, elders, maybe mothers and fathers, what is the most common situation where you will not have common sense? Usually I ask parents a lot of questions, this time I forgot. Yes? Yes? Okay, when you are angry, okay, people lose common sense. Becoming angry in the first place itself is not common sense. When you are angry, you lose yourself, you shout at each other, you go and fight with each other, you throw things at each other. Do you think that's common sense? No. Okay. Yeah, right. Okay. So, now, if somebody do something, okay, they bully you. Is there any point that you be angry with them?
No.
Even if you are angry with them, do you think they can feel it? No. Okay, if somebody hits you, you need to do something about that, but not physically. You need to report it to your mother, father, or whoever that is responsible for you. But for little things like jokes and taking your pencil and do you think it's common sense to be angry with people? No. Buddha says if somebody is angry, he is very foolish, Why? Because when somebody is angry, why is that person very foolish? Yes. Because you are the only person who is angry, the other person cannot feel it. So Buddha explains it's like holding a bowl of fire in your arm, in your hand, and expect the other person to burn. Will that happen? But you are doing that. How? By being angry, it's the same way. You are holding the anger within you, but you expect the other person to burn. It will never happen. Don't be foolish. Don't be foolish, but apply common sense. When you are getting angry, understand the situation perfectly. The one before the last, they say greedy. If you are, there's a particular term here, greedy towards your own kind. Greedy towards your own kind. Some children are there, they only think about themselves. Now in Australian schools I learned that you are not supposed to share your lunch. Now don't do that. Behave, you just learn how to behave at this place. So I believe in yours. Are you sharing your meals with your friends? Yes. No, I heard it's not allowed in Australia because of the whole allergy thing. But in Sri Lanka when we were young, we don't have to share, it's already shared by the moment you get into a school. So I had a friend who brings 2 lunch packets. One for sharing, the other one is also for sharing. Okay. So Buddha says, if you want to be happy, don't be selfish. Think about others also. Share what you have. Give away the extra things that you collect. We call it dana. Without giving, actually you cannot find happiness. By keeping all the things to yourself, can you be happy? Can you find happiness in giving? There was this king, this Bhante Vichita told me this story. Actually, I learned this from him at one of his Dhamma talks. There was this king, king is always proud and he has all the money in the country. Whatever he wants, he can give away. So there was this man who came to him and asked, okay, king, my lord, can you give me your wife? The king said, okay, I am the king, I can find a lot of wives. You take her. So he said, okay, you take her. So that man took the queen away. But the king was initially, because of his pride, he was okay. But from the second day onwards, he was very sad. Why? Because he gave away his queen. Time went by, he was very upset, he was so depressed. One of his ministers realized our king is not doing fine. So he arranged something, he wanted to do something about it. So one day he invited a group of circusmen. You know what a circus is? Yes. So he asked the people to come and perform in front of the king. You know what these circus people did? They know how to guard swords. You know how? Can you guard a sword inside your throat? Have you seen that in the TV? Yes, sometimes. So, because you cannot do it, because I cannot do it, because that king cannot do it, king thought, oh, what a difficult thing it is. So he told the minister, that is something very difficult for a man to do. Then the minister told, my lord, that is very easy, but there is something very difficult more than that, to give something and to be happy about it. Then the king realized, do you understand the story here? Because the king was not happy after giving something. But that is the most hardest thing. You give something and be happy about it is more difficult than swallowing swords. So try to be happy with giving things. Can you do that? So you train yourself to give the extra things that you have. Don't be always stingy. How many Barbie dolls do you have? None? Okay, I don't know whether you are. Okay, the boys, you don't play with Barbie dolls, I know. Okay, so the last thing, let's finish this. Last one, the number 15. Okay, children, now be ready for the revision part. Okay, the lollyful part. You should not be doing anything that you will regret later in your life or somebody else will blame you. Nacha kuddam samachare kinchena bhavadei. Okay? You should not be doing anything that you will be regretting in the future. Now, when my father, I was very much like most of the kids when I was young. I used to like TV a lot. So whenever, I did study and I did went to school, I did do university, I finished my university, I did work in a very professional manner. But still my father was a bit at that age, your parents are a bit difficult to please. No matter how you study, sitting in front of the TV is the worst thing for them. Okay? So in Sri Lanka, the poor people, when they cannot find a job, they climb coconut trees, isn't it? Huh? Then my father used to tell me, when you grow up, you will be somebody who's plucking coconuts. But I'm not sure you can do that because you are fat. But you grow up, sometimes you grow up and you think, oh, I didn't listen to my mother, I didn't listen to my father. If I should have thought about that before, I should have become somebody else, I should have done properly, I didn't go to university in Sri Lanka because I didn't get the perfect marks. So at that time I thought, okay, maybe I should have studied more, then I should have gone to then my parents should have not paid for me. Those things are regrets in your life. But if you listen to instructions, if you follow advice by your parents, you don't have to be in a situation where you will regret in the future. So Buddha says, don't do anything that you will be blamed by somebody else. Don't do anything, any of these things that the person can point the finger and tell you, hey you are a bad person. Do your children, hey, darling, okay, listen to me. You understand me? Yes? So I'm pointing my finger at you now. So, you should, okay, what is the important point here?
Don't do anything that
You regret in the future. When you are going outside, when you go out of the house, make sure that you behave perfectly, that nobody will call your mother and father and tell you, hey your son is like this. I had a lot of parents meetings, when I was at school, but I never got kicked out of school because my teachers used to tell me, we are not kicking you out of your school because your parents are very good. So we are. Not because I was good, because my parents are very good. So if you are a good person, you will never be kicked out of school. Okay, now be happy. Now I have given the 15 things that were in the loving kindness meditation, loving kindness sutta given by Lord Buddha. And these are for the person who is looking for ultimate happiness called Nibbana. In a very mundane level, in an everyday level, you need to practice, you need to understand these points if you want ultimate happiness in life. Okay, it's okay, you eat as much as you like, ice cream, chocolate, pizza, and have a lot of good friends, have a lot of video games, have a lot of whatever cars, Lego, dingy toys, whatever dolls, you can have that, but when you don't have them, please remember you are not going to be happy. So happiness is always being independent. Independent means you depend on your inside, and how do you find inside within you is called peace. Within that peace you can find something called happiness. When you grow up, when we talk more, you will understand these concepts. I'm going to finish my talk now. I thank you all very much for taking this evening to come and sit down. I know it's very difficult for a child to sit down for 1 hour and listen. But did you enjoy?
Yes.
Thank you very much. So, okay, now I want to please myself by listening to your answers. Okay, how many things that you should remember? Everybody can answer. 15. Okay. What is the name of this talk given by Lord Buddha? Very good. And what is the English term for that? Okay, one good idea. Okay, I have the whole, it's a very short discourse. You repeat after me. Okay, we go through the English translation of the sutta. Please repeat after me. You can find the nice meaning here. Okay, this is the loving kindness discourse given by Lord Buddha. This is what should be done. Repeat after me. Think about it. Okay, this is what should be done. Now, do you understand that? Okay, parents, you can repeat also. Okay? This is what should be done by the one who is skilled in goodness. Oh, is it weird? This is, okay, think of it as a Christmas carol, you know. Okay, this is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Now, path of peace is path of happiness, path to happiness, path to success. You understand that?
Yes.
Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm and demanding, not demanding in nature, that the wise would later reprove, wishing in gladness and in safety. May all beings be at ease, whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born, may all beings be well and happy. Let none deceive another or despise any being in any state. Let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another. Even as a mother protects with her life her child, her only child, so with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, freed from hatred and ill will, whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness, that is without being sleepy. One should sustain this recollection. You should remember these things, okay? Without being sleepy, you should remember these things to spread loving kindness to the entire universe. This is said to be the most happiest way. Okay, you can repeat that after me. This is said to be the sublime abiding by not holding to fixed ways, the pure-hearted one, having clarity of vision, being freed from all sense desires, is not born again into this world. Okay, the last part is a bit difficult for you to understand, but the 15 things that we learn, I believe, is very important for everybody. Don't you think? Okay, number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Obedient. Number 5. See, these girls are very, crafty and wise. Huh? They wrote down everything that I said. So now they are answering like, Okay. Number 6. Number 7. Number 8. Number 9. Very simple life. Very few duties. Simple livelihood. Controlling senses. What's the other one? Which is very uncommon. Nonsense. Not stubborn. Not greedy. The last one.
Do not
Do anything that you will regret in the future, that somebody will blame you. Okay, are we done here?
Yes.
Okay, are you happy? Are you hungry now?
Yes.
You want to go home now?
Yes.
When are we going to see each other again?
Next year.
Next year? Okay, thank you. Okay, okay. Children have a, okay, there's a way we started this. Now there's a way we are going to end this. This is called the ending. How are